Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between FC Barcelona and Villarreal. Barcelona unfortunately lost against Villarreal 3-2, but to be honest, with Barcelona winning the league already, I believe that in the end, both teams have won. Barcelona can go on and celebrate their league win, and then we have Villarreal who also celebrated not because they won the league, not because they defeated FC Barcelona, but they have secured a spot for the Champions League next season, right? Villarreal wanted this position so bad, which is the reason why when we saw them play against us, they came in with a lot of energy. They were not playing just for the sake of playing and to finish off this season. They wanted to win because they wanted to be in 5th place and go over Real Betis. And so it's a good thing that, you know, Real Betis also lost against Atletico Madrid 4-1. I mean, like at the time that I'm looking at this scoreline, Real Betis are losing 4-1, which is insane to me. Atletico Madrid are having one hell of a season and one hell of a performance here. So, you know, Atletico Madrid ended up with 73 points, Real Madrid 81 points, Barcelona 85 points, and once again we have Real Betis in 6th place, 59 points, Villarreal 5th place, Athletic Club and 70th place, right? So I think that this was a very competitive league season for us, for FC Barcelona, and for basically every team, because I think that overall, if we look at the top 8 teams in La Liga, they all played extremely well. You know, props and congratulations to Rayo Vallecano, Celta Vigo, Real Betis. They have really improved their game. I'm just surprised to see that Real Betis are really letting their guard down against Atletico Madrid. But, you know, in the end, I believe that this is a Barcelona team that does need some fixing, because the fact that Villarreal scored in the 4th minute with it, which was such an easy opportunity, by the way, because of our high defensive line. Once again, like I've said in the past few videos, Barcelona do need to fix something like this, because this is not the first time it happened through the season. This has happened multiple times, at least 6 times, so that I can count and think on top of my head. Right, Barcelona have conceded within the first 5 minutes. A lot of the teams and the majority of the teams already know how to score in the first 5 to 8 minutes against FC Barcelona. They all know how to do that. Real Madrid done it. Atletico Madrid done it. Right? Inter Milan has also done it. The more time we give to these opponents to analyze us, the more they will have a deeper understanding on how to score against us. And so we have to fix that. Hansi Flick even said earlier, before the match, he said that, you know, like, you know, we need to fix some things where we are still trying to change the whole soccer philosophy here. Like, we're not going to go like completely 360 and just neglect the Barcelona style of play, but we are going to change some things, right? So that is going to be one of our conversations that we will be having in the summer. And you know, I talked about this before. I got a lot of fire because of it, and I said that, you know, we conceded a lot. That is something that we have to talk about, right? We conceded too much. We let Villarreal score 3 goals against us at the end of the day. And this should not happen. And when you see like these weaknesses that a system does carry, like for example, Hansi Flick's Barcelona, you want to be able to fix that. Just like Guardiola tried to fix it in after his first full season with FC Barcelona. It's very normal. And so I do think that in the end, I would say that 60% of the problem on why we concede so much against different opponents, and especially in the past 15 to 20 games, is because of the lack of focus. And I do think that there is a degree of fatigue, especially with 2 matches left. I mean, like only 1 match left at this point. And with us winning the league, maybe the fire is dying from a lot of these players and they really want to rest. Maybe Kubarsi, Eric Garcia, Inigo Martinez, Balde, they are in some way fatigued. Frank de Jong, fatigue. Pedri, fatigue. It's completely understandable. We have nothing else to play for. Obviously, when you have so many fans there in the stadium, you want to be able to give them a show. And, you know, we have to respect them in some way. But I believe that, you know, these players do need some rest. I see these players with a lot of enthusiasm to win. They gave it their all in the past 9 months, and, you know, great job to them. And yeah, it's understandable why they would be fatigued today. But I think that this also produces another conversation, right? Is when we go into this summer, we want to be able to have quality depth and rotate a lot, especially when we go into the next season, knowing that we're going to be playing more than 50 matches, right? We need quality depth. I know that we had depth, right? We have players that can take multiple positions in the starting 11. We do, but are they quality? That is going to be the next question, and that is going to be one of the things that Deco is going to have to like really strategize with Hansi Flick. We're going to be talking about the sporting plan that Deco and Hansi Flick are going to be having in these next couple of weeks in a separate video, right? It's going to be coming out right after this video. But yeah, there's a lot of conversations. I would say 3. Okay, we need there's 3 different conversations going into this summer, and also like this game also solidified some things, right? Point number one is going to be the high defensive line, right? The fact that we concede so easy. It's just so easy for the opponent. It must be fixed. Point number two is going to be the quality depth, right? We want to be able to have, let's just say, for example, if Rafinha is tired or maybe he's just not having his best game, let's put in Nico Williams, right? That's going to be it, right? The quality depth. And then we have point number three, which is going to be the flanks. I think that one of the things that we have seen over the past 45 matches is we do miss wingers that know how to dribble and take down a lot of players. We need a Leao or Nico Williams type of player, or even Luis Diaz, players who can dribble over and over again. We're missing those wingers that can provide the width. We don't have that with Rafinha. Now, does that mean that Rafinha is trash? No, he brings something different. But in certain scenarios, in certain games, we need Doku type of players, right? We need Leao, Musiala type of players on the wings. Once again, it goes back to Deco. What does Deco have, right? What answers can he bring us? I'm sure that he has planned a lot of this out already. John Laporta even confirmed about 24 hours ago that Deco has been planning about, he's been planning about summer 2025 since like August of last year. As soon as the transfer window was closed last year in 2024, he was already thinking about summer 2025. So I know that he has a clear plan. Deco obviously wants to save this plan for a meeting with Hansi Flick next week. And once again, we're going to be talking about what that's going to look like in the next video. So all in all, going back to this Barcelona and Villarreal game specifically, Lamine Yamal scored another goal yet again. Beautiful goal. But this time not in the top left corner like he did in the previous match, but in the bottom left corner. But very similar, right? There was this saying, that I actually posted on Twitter. I'm going to like pull it up right now to see if I can find it, because I don't know if I could like load this up. But yeah, there's this saying coming from Bruce Lee, and he said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." And that is Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal, even though he may not have like such versatility and different options in terms of how he shoots the ball, like a Lionel Messi, for example, Lamine Yamal has practiced one specific shot, and he's really good at that. He rarely does miss. Obviously, Lamine Yamal is going to get to a point where he can be more flexible in his shots and where he just places shots, and how well he can also use his right foot as he does get older, like Lionel Messi did back when he was like 24, 25 years old. Lamine Yamal will get there, but at this moment, the way that I like to describe Yamal is he's really good at one specific thing, and that is those shots from outside the box and those curlers to the bottom left or top right corner. It's very hard for these goalkeepers to block those shots, and they are just amazing. And I hope that he never loses this ability, because to have this type of ability from a right winger is very, I would just say, almost non-existent. You barely do see that coming from a winger. Lamine Yamal has something like this, and it's very special. So it was a golazo. And Fermin Lopez also scored on the 45th minute, basically the 49th minute. Once again, it is the exact same scores that we saw in the last match, which was against, who was it against? I think it was Espanyol, yeah, 2-0, right? In the match against Espanyol where we won 2-0, it was Lamine Yamal first and then Fermin Lopez on the 95th minute. This game, same thing. Yamal and Fermin Lopez, our top goal scorers. And once again, like I've said, we had conversations about Fermin Lopez and how important he is. This guy provides a lot of energy, a lot of key passes. He makes those runs. He's very on point on when the crosses go into the box. His arrivals are always on point, and he knows how to shoot from outside the box. He's not scared, and he can shoot with his right foot or left foot, which makes him very dangerous. And as of now, I would just say that Fermin Lopez has the edge over Dani Olmo. Like, if you were to tell me, okay, Kevin, we're going to be playing Bayern Munich tomorrow, or Man City tomorrow, or Inter Milan tomorrow, I would tell you Fermin Lopez, not Dani Olmo. And I know that it seems a little strange for us to say that, because, Olmo is such a name, but under Hansi Flick, it's not about the name, it's about who performs the best, right? It does not, and it also does not matter the age, right? Because if age really mattered, Yamal would not be playing. Age is just a number. Inigo Martinez, the fact that he turned 34, 35 years old, age is just a number. Inigo Martinez has had a 10 out of 10 performance, and through the whole season. Does that mean that we have to switch him out because he turned 35 yesterday or today? No. Age is just a number, right? The name is just a name. It does not matter. What can you bring on the field? Fermin Lopez, just because he has a lesser name compared to Dani Olmo does not mean that we have to put Olmo over Fermin. No, Fermin is much more effective as of now. I would have him starting in the number 10 position today. So, great game by FC Barcelona overall. I wished we could have won this game, but unfortunately, we have experienced our first loss since last year in December, where Barcelona lost against Atletico Madrid 2-1, I believe. And this is our first league loss of 2025, right? And like I've said, like I'm not really too bothered by this because we have won the domestic treble. We won the league already. Villarreal get what they want. We'll probably see them in the Champions League. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, there's this one player named Buchanan. I believe he's one of the strikers of Villarreal. I can't wait to see him in the Champions League. It's going to be a lot of fun, right? Because I think that this Villarreal team is very exciting, right? They have players like Parejo, they have Pepe, they have Navarro, they have Benya, Pino, Cardona, Perez. Great players, right? Phenomenal. And all in all, Barcelona did dominate this game with 69% of the possession. Villarreal had a better expected goal rate, by the way, with 1.77 total shots. For FC Barcelona was 24. Villarreal only had 7. Bro, Villarreal only had 7 and 3 shots on target, and those 3 ended up being goals. For FC Barcelona, it was the opposite. We had 9 shots on target, 24 shots in total, and only 2 ended up being goals. I know a lot of people are going to be complaining about Ter Stegen and how he can't block anything. I'm not going to rate this guy at all. I mean, like, if we were to just solely rate him based off this performance alone, forgetting about the context and what happened before, I would tell you that, yeah, Ter Stegen is trash, and he's like a 3 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 right now. Szczesny clears this guy. Gochin clears this guy. Benya clears Ter Stegen. But we have to understand that he just came back from injury. I think that we have to be a little fair with him. We'll see how Ter Stegen does perform in the preseason or during the summer. We'll see what Hansi Flick thinks of him, because I'm already starting to see that Barcelona is interested in a player like Martinez from Aston Villa, the Argentinian goalkeeper, to come to a team like FC Barcelona. And if you know what Hansi Flick wants from his goalkeepers is aggressive goalkeepers, right? Very aggressive, very high risk goalkeepers. Martinez, who once again represents Argentina and Aston Villa, he is that. He's a very aggressive goalkeeper, somebody who's a captain, somebody who's very vocal, somebody who is aggressive when he wants to win the ball and has to come up, right, when the long ball gets distributed against us. He's very tall. He's 6'2", he's 6'3". Anytime there's corners, he can just grab the ball. It's very easy, right? I think that Martinez is like 3 or 4 inches taller than Ter Stegen. So it would really help Barcelona in terms of set pieces. But once again, that is going to be a conversation for like a whole other different video. I'm going to be wrapping it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one because that one's going to be very, very exciting. I promise you guys. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.